Hi, my name is Jessica Miter, and this is Music Styles. Now, you've probably watched the first 3 discs or the first 3 lessons, and you've learned about how to connect with your breath and how to sing a little bit. And I hope that you keep on practicing. What would be a good idea for you now is to understand music styles and how to sing the song. Now, what I've tried to do is break this down into a couple of segments. Understanding the style of the song. What is style? And I'm referring to music style. Choosing a song in a style that you like. Okay? Styles and examples, which we will try to give you a couple of different ideas of what kind of music is out there, because that's the only way that you're ever going to find your own style, is to listen to lots of styles, not just one. And singing the new song. How do you convey the message? How do you bring it into your heart and sing it out to people? Okay. So, understanding the style of a song. What is style? Well, music styles range and vary so much as there are people on this earth. So it's really hard to classify things. There are some larger classifications that we've managed to get into, and I think the most popular is pop music, top 40 popular music. This kind of music tends to be very cheerful or let's say upbeat, and the vocalists are usually very good looking, and they're also very entertaining. And popular music is popular for a good reason, because everybody likes it. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I think examples of popular music stream from Madonna to Mariah Carey. Now we have Norah Jones that's very popular. All of the boy bands that you have out there. I think Zhang Huimei is a very popular singer. Wang Fei, lots and lots and lots and lots of popular music, and it's all not the same. We have ballads. Ballads are slow and very powerful songs. Ballad actually means a slow song. And when we're referring to ballads in popular music, we're talking about Whitney Houston songs, Celine Dion songs, where they're crying their hearts out for you, and they're doing with incredible vocals. Shania Twain, Faith Hill, all excellent ballad singers. You can also have ballads in jazz, ballads in rock, ballads in a lot of different styles of music. It just means a slow song, and it often refers to some sort of love or something like that. R&B. What is R&B? R&B literally means rhythm and blues. And it became popular about 50 years ago. And it developed and has developed, and it is still popular to this day. You have classic R&B, and then you have what's popular now. Classic R&B is great to learn from as a vocalist. We're talking about people like Aretha Franklin, Gladys Knight and the Pips. We're talking about the Temptations, Marvin Gaye. All of these kinds of songs have such an interesting rhythm to them. The melodies are really soaring, and the vocalists often came from gospel backgrounds where they were singing in churches. So the songs actually really have a lot of power and feeling. I would recommend Aretha Franklin's Gold album as an example of R&B that can be practiced. It's very, very, very good. Hip-hop and rap. People like Missy Elliott, Nelly, Eminem, all very popular hip-hop rap artists. I recommend highly to listen to them just for the mere fact that they have so much rhythm when they're singing or when they're talking. you might say, oh, it doesn't interest me, but actually, if you ever tried to do it, it's very difficult. And if you learned how to do it, it would just make your rhythm that much better. There's bluegrass and country music. Bluegrass stems from very folky roots, and country tends to be popular, but with more of a twang in the way that they play it and sing it. Bluegrass often involves banjos, guitars, upright bass. The instrumentation is very unique and comes across as a lot of fun to sing, lots of harmonies. I would recommend Bill Monroe, or even the Dixie Chicks are very popular right now. They're very country, very bluegrass. The Dixie Chicks are a very good example of this. And of course, there's always rock and roll. Rock and roll is huge, and there are many, many different types of rock and roll. I think that, just to name a few of my favorites, would be Led Zeppelin, the Beatles, Pink Floyd, Billy Joel. There's so many. It's really hard. It's really hard to just name a few. I would recommend going out and buying lots of that kind of music and just listening to it and getting an understanding of what it is. I mean, there's old rock and roll, classic rock. There's rock and roll that's popular now. Avril Lavigne, she's been doing a lot, and I think it's really good. Santana, just, I mean, you could go on and on and on about rock and roll. The blues. The blues is really old. I think we've been singing blues for a long, long time. I think Bessie Smith is really good for blues. She's very old, kind of one of the pioneers in singing blues and being recorded. Robert Johnson. The blues is really heartfelt, and it's always wailing, and it's based on a type of scale that if you listen to it after a while, you can recognize the style very much. Reggae. Reggae is really laid back, and it has a rhythm that is specific to reggae. People like Bob Marley, Toots and the Mayhems, I can never say their names. Lots and lots and lots of different examples of reggae. It's very chill, and people often listen to it when they want to go out and have fun. Latin music. Latin music is huge, and there are so many different types of Latin music, just as many types of music that there are in Chinese and other types of music. Latin music has really enthusiastic rhythm, lots of horns. Sometimes Brazilian music is also very unique style and rhythm, and if you learned that kind of music, it would only add to your own skills as a singer. I would recommend Celia Cruz, Ruben Blades. I would recommend Gilberto Gil, Ivan Lin, just to name a couple. There's classical music, which is operatic and arias and things like that. There's so much out there I couldn't even begin to recommend. It's wonderful music to listen to. It's also in a style that really represents the technique that you've been learning as a vocalist. We have traditional folk music, which is something that I was singing in the last disc, Amazing Grace. Traditional folk music tends to be really simple melodies that can be spiced up any way that you like to do them. And then just another particularly great style is jazz. Jazz is a reasonably new kind of music in the world of music, and it comes from the States, from America. And it comes from the heart. It's a very free kind of music. I think it's the basis of how we invent melodies. And if you're a songwriter, it's really, really helpful. And even just as a singer, to understand jazz will strengthen your skills as a singer so much. I'll be explaining that in the next lesson. But for now, that's just a couple of types of styles of music that you can choose from. There's so many out there. My recommendation would be to go out there and listen to as much music as you can, because you never know what you're going to find. It's always different. And the more kinds of music that you understand, and the more kinds of music that you digest as a musician, as a singer, the more rich your vocabulary becomes, the more tools you have to work with as a singer.
I waited till I saw the sun. I don't know why I didn't come. I left you by the house of fun. I don't know why I didn't come. I don't know why I didn't come. And after all this time, you're still the one I love. Yeah. Looks like we made it. Look how far we've come, my baby. We might have took the long way. We knew we'd get there someday. They said, I bet they'll never make it, but just look at us holding on. I don't want nobody always sitting around me and my man. I don't want nobody always sitting right there looking at me.
In constant sorrow through his day, I am the man of constant sorrow. I've seen trouble all my day. I bid farewell to old Kentucky, the place where I was born and raised.
Vengo del mar y la angostura, cruce del camino y de la tarde. Vengo de las huellas y pisadas de gaviotas viajando a contraluz. Vengo del tiempo tuyo y del tiempo mío, de los que llegaron, del que no se fue. Mis amores se agrietaron, mis sueños sucumbieron en la estela de los barcos.
Every night in my dreams I see you, I feel you. That is how I know you. Go on. Far across the distance and spaces between